Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger. My friends, we had a bit of surprising news the other day because if you're not aware, the Street Fighter 6 beta went live again, randomly. No announcement, but for some hours, it was live. Lots of things were going wrong, error codes and messages everywhere. It was basically impossible to get a match going on, but it was better than nothing, I guess. The only thing that was stable during the beta period was picking into an arcade cabinet and going in the training mode. And thanks to that, we got some new footage to work with here and some new discoveries. Specifically dealing in what is the crux of today's video, the Drive Rush. Now, we all know the basics of Drive Rush by now, I would think, so I'm not going to belabor those. But what became very clear to me in this little extra period we have testing stuff out is Drive Rush is a lot crazier than you think it might have been. It has a lot more options available to it than you may have otherwise have thought. So you know a lot of the basics, like you can drive cancel a bunch of your normals to rush forward and keep combos going. That's fine. You probably know that Drive Rush enhances the properties of many moves, gives them additional frame data. Generally speaking, gives it 4 additional frames on hit or on block, which is great. Which allows for things like this, which I call the beta special, where you can Drive Rush into an overhead and then it makes the overhead so plus it can combo into it. And I sure fell for it every single time and I got hit by it every single time in the beta. When you finally get your hands on the game, 1, watch out for it. 2, hey, abuse it. It's pretty good. So basically easy combos and allows your tricky moves to have a little bit more weight behind them because you can get combos where you couldn't otherwise. But what I failed to appreciate during the original beta that I now understand fully and what we're going to talk about is the Drive Rush gives you more combo ability in the terms of juggles. Specifically, it lets things juggle that normally could never juggle, and that's a big deal. So to start with a basic example, so something like Ryu Jump Medium Punch. In many Street Fighter games, if you land a medium punch in the air, you're allowed basically a juggle point after, and you can land something like a Shoryuken, and that remains the same in this game. Because the Shoryuken, basically, when you're allowed to juggle, you can juggle with a Shoryuken. That's how that works. But there sure is plenty of moves you're not allowed to juggle with. Like, say, for example, Crouch Medium Punch. I'll still hit you, right? I'll put you in that juggle okay state, but Crouch Medium Punch is simply not a move that can hit you. We gotta do something else. But turns out the Drive Rush, it lets the impossible become possible. So before you saw clear as day, Crouch Medium Punch is not it. We're not getting it. But here, after we get our juggle, we hold parry and Drive Rush cancel out of it. And then all of a sudden, Crouch Medium Punch does connect. And then we Shoryu after the fact. So when it comes to juggles of any sort, basically Drive Rush lets you break the rules as they normally stand and let you juggle with things that normally are not allowed to juggle. Now, knowing this, let's continue forward with this knowledge. So this example you're seeing here. So Chun-Li and Guile have slow enough fireballs that you can kind of walk behind them and catch people and whatever they're doing. And a lot of times it's likely people will jump and they'll land in the fireball, especially the slower versions. And certain moves here, like the level 1 super, you can juggle after the fact. But anything that's like a normal or even her regular specials, never going to happen. But with the Drive Rush, as you can see, we actually got a little bit of a combo going on there. 3-hit combo, decent chunk of change for damage. And also, not only that, it's the mobility that helps out. So here they land, we Drive Rush forward, gain that space, and then connect into the Crouch Medium Kick into the special move, right? So now, all of a sudden, jumping onto a fireball, like, it never feels good, you know, you feel stupid when you do it, but you will just take the damage, especially in a scenario where Chun-Li would be too far away to super. Now, she can chase you down all the way across the screen for landing on that fireball and combo you for it, getting some respectable enough damage. This would be just as applicable for Guile, by the way. So accidentally jumping on a projectile for a lot of characters means they're going to get a lot more damage than just the projectile itself. This is more than just dealing damage and getting a combo. This means the average fireball just gets scarier. And of course, in scenarios like this, that move is level 3 cancelable, that's special. So all of a sudden, you could potentially have lost the game off a simple basic mistake of jumping on a fireball. This certainly adds a lot of power to players who just want to wait and see and react to everything, right? Because in a lot of situations now where they could not get anything, Drive Rush says, nah, man, you can maybe get the world for whatever you're going to try. Now, before we get too deep here, because the next section is going to be pretty cool, but before we get too deep here, there are some moves that are apparently hard-coded. No matter what, you will never be able to get a drive rush struggle from, like this level 1 super from Guile. So keep that in mind. So we're building to something here. So next example here. So Ryu Hashogeki. If you land it in, say, the corner, you can always get a Shoryu. That's great. But outside of the corner, not so much. It knocks them too far away, right? You still can combo. You can get like a Tatsu, but it doesn't do as much damage. But what if you still could get that Shoryu mid-screen? And thanks to Drive Rush letting you combo into basically anything, yeah, you can. Now, like this example's like hardly a super optimal combo or anything, but it just shows you the potential. And also to me, perhaps gives a hint at what truly optimal combos will look like in the future. Less so Drive Rush, the 3-bar version canceling off any given move, but basically times where you can find yourself in a position to juggle the enemy, but find the time to parry, Drive Rush cancel for 1 bar instead of 3, and then comboing out. Those will be the links, as it were, I guess you could say, of Street Fighter 6. When you find yourself in that position just to sneak in just a little bit of time to get the raw Drive Rush in at only 1 bar cost, because you want to save your meter in this game, and then maximize your damage output after the fact. Now granted, Drive Rush, whenever you do it in the combo, it does scale your next hits pretty hard. So this example here, normally it should go to 80, but thanks to the fact we're doing Drive Rush, 68% is where we're now at. Basically doing Drive Rush is like advanced scaling on a combo. But once again here, I got the Shoryu mid-screen, plus another hit. So I'm getting more overall damage potential. And again, not optimal. We'll figure that out in time, but just opening your eyes to some of the ideas here. To give one more example here, we'll switch over to Chun-Li. So Chun-Li has the EX spinning bird kick combos, and mid-screen, either basically your options are you do Tensho kicks, that's your meterless option, after you already spent meter, but or you can go for a super. However, once again, Drive Rush opens up many opportunities. So after the EX bird kick, we have enough time to raw Drive Rush, pick the enemy up off the ground before they land, and then re-juggle into the super because heavy legs relaunches the enemy. So just a lot of new things are possible. And once again here, normally, even in the corner, point blank, you cannot get any kind of jab or normal off. It simply can never work. Only the Drive Rush allows for this move that normally cannot juggle to now juggle and then pick up a combo from there. So yeah, that's basically it. Not only is the Drive Rush the combo extender, the pressure extender, it also allows impossible combos to become possible. I will freely admit every combo you're seeing here in the video right now is a baby example. There'll definitely be much more advanced stuff to come in the future once we can really dig in. But it goes to show that Drive Rush is probably going to be the most important mechanic overall in Street Fighter 6 when it's all said and done. And a lot of the biggest combos in the game will probably be ones where you can sneak out that 1 bar Drive Rush to extend your combos. So that all said, well, hey, that's the video. So let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And otherwise, well, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.